Hello there, I am DJ Lady Loy. You'll find me on a Friday on Lovers Rock Radio where I guess I play nostalgic vibes and I kind of scrutinize artist lyrics. And on Saturdays, I'm on the Roller Coaster Show, 7 till 9, and that's on Gold Standard Radio. But today I wanted to talk about being single, and I am newly single. When I say newly single, I have to say 6 months. And I think the longest I've ever been single was about a year. I I love being single, but I'm never single for long for some reason or another. I don't go looking for anyone. It's almost like there's something that goes out into the waves that says Lady Loy is single, you know, and yeah, and it's usually that's the way it works. But yeah, what I wanted to say though is that being single, I wonder if it's a cop out. I say that only because I'm used to living a hard life. I'm used to giving myself to other people. I'm used to putting myself on the back burner in relationships. And I am used to just not really, well, getting lost in relationships, really. The only time I come alive is when I'm doing videos and when I'm playing my music and probably in the workplace. But when I'm at home, I tend to shrink, especially when I'm in a relationship, because I tend to end up in relationships where my partner wants to possess me, is afraid that because I'm on radio or because I am doing vlogs, that I'm going to be inundated with demands and requests to go out on a date. It's almost like I'm not given the credibility or the trust to say, look, I've chosen you. I'm with you. And a lot of men I've noticed, they seem to think that other people can influence the woman. It's almost like they say, oh, don't hang around with that person. That person is a bad influence, or you shouldn't do this, or be careful. Even though you're a grown adult, you've had your experiences. It's almost like some men, they believe they're protecting their women, but really, they're just not trusting their women. And if they cannot trust their women, why are they with them? And I've had that a lot in the past. I've had situations where men will say, "Oh, I don't want you hanging around with that person because she'll encourage you to go out with other men." I'm like, please, you know what I mean? I'm a big old hardback woman. What? How the hell is somebody going to encourage me to take on somebody else if I don't want to? It takes two to tango. So when I'm single, I make the most of it. I use the time to think about who I am, what I want, what I can do with this newly acclaimed space, and how great it makes me feel not to have to do anything, not to have to speak to people, not to have to please others, not to have to take other people's thoughts into consideration. I know you have to do that when you're interacting on a business level and when you're at work and stuff like that. But when you're in relationships, you are constantly on the alert. You are constantly taking into consideration if it's not your partner, it's going to be your children or maybe relatives if you're involved with your relatives. You never really have an opportunity to think, what do I want? What do I want to do? How do I want to be? Who am I? And sometimes people don't even know who they are. And when I'm on my own, I notice that I'm a bit more vivacious, a bit more playful, a bit more, I don't know, a bit more energetic maybe. But it's almost like I probably do it to myself. I'm not saying that I'm in relationships where a man will say, Myrna, don't do this or don't behave like that. Although I have been in relationships where people have said, oh, pipe down a little bit. Oh, that's not appropriate. I don't think you should dress like that. Oh, that's not how a certain person or you in your caliber should dress or present yourself. And I find myself kind of conforming into this image that somebody else wants of me. And it goes way back. It goes way back to my mum, because my mum used to say, I've always been one of these people who see out of the box. I've never been an ordinary person. I've always done things that are different. When people are all wearing black coats, I'll wear a white coat. I was one of the first people, apart from Eve, that had blonde hair. Nobody had the courage to do it. And I consider myself a kind of a trendsetter. So what my mother would always say, though, I'm trying to draw attention to myself. But it wasn't that I was trying to draw attention to myself. It was that I just like to like what I like. And if it was different to what everybody else liked, so be it. And so when I'm on my own now, I use this time to just reflect. Reflect on not having to please, not having to call, not having to look at my messages, not having to wonder how other people feel. But I don't want to reach the extent where I become totally selfish. So I was wondering what other people do with the time when they're single. Because I really want to become a better person while I'm single. So when that knight in shining armor appears, I'm a better person than I was previously. And so I'm constantly, seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from the Most High. I'm consistently giving thanks and praise for how blessed I am. At my age, still to be able, yes, I have my aches and my pains, and sometimes I think, oh my God, I can't be bothered. Like I'm supposed to be going to Danrodge this evening, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't have the energy. I have the energy to talk to you guys. I have the energy to make myself something to eat. But to get up, to drive to London, to stay overnight in a hotel, because I don't drive overnight, it's just such a lot of work. And then you have to get dressed up. And I'm just like, I can't be asked. But notwithstanding all of that, it makes me notice what I need, what I like, who I am. And, sometimes I think I am the raver. I am the person who likes to go out, but I'm not. I'm really an introvert. I really much prefer to be at home, put my feet up, listen to music or, select music for one of my shows. But I find myself in situations where I'm invited out or I make a decision months ahead. And then when the time comes, I'm like, oh, why did I make that decision? And then because I'm a woman of my word, I tend to have to see it through. So all I'm saying to you girls or women or whoever it is who are watching this video, when you are single, use that time to, yes, please yourself to the maximum. Take care of yourself, nurture all those needs, especially when you've been in relationships where your needs have not been met, where you've been in relationships where people have taken and taken and taken and not given anything back. Or when they do give something back, it's the bare minimum they feel they can get away with. And then after you've looked after yourself, then prepare yourself for whatever is out there. Don't close the door. Don't close your eyes and don't close your heart. Be open to love. Be open to sharing your life with someone and trusting in the Most High that it will be good next time. And I guess that's all I've got to say for now. I hope you found